Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. I come bringing peace and good salutations, hoping that everyone is well. In whatever part of the world you may be in, if you come across this video, peace. Um, me, I just wanted to get on here and just, you know, spread a little cheer. Despite all the stuff that's going on, that folks remain focused on positive solutions, positive ways out of the madness that we're in. And it starts by opening our minds up and looking at things in a different aspect as we probably have done before. But one of the things I wanted to get on here today and say is like, wow, man. A few weeks back, I talked about the Dr. Fauci incident where the NIH said that they would that a lot of the information that he was given was false or inaccurate, which gave legitimacy to those that were so-called, according to the media, were attacking Fauci, far as on the Republican side of Congress. Which I don't understand why no Democrat is not saying anything about it. I just don't get it. It's like, wow, it's cool to call out shit on one side, but it's not cool to call out, especially when it's something dealing with maybe why the whole planet is out of order, why a lot of people are deceased, including my people, a lot of my people. So it's like, I don't get it why nobody's talking about the fact that he's lied in front of Congress. But the other day they brought contempt charges up on Steve Bannon, and this is the thing that I'm getting really upset with now with the mess that's going on, because it's like ain't nobody out here stupid. People see what the fuck going on, and it's like some people want to be in denial and act like, turn the other way. But when you're really in tune with shit, and when you really feel a certain kind of way with stuff that's going on, especially when it is affecting your yourself personally, your family, people around you are being affected by this. I mean, then there's an urgency to address certain shit and try and get this stuff over, man. To get an understanding of what's going on, find a solution, and there, so forth and so forth. Now this fool here, man, Steve Bannon, he claimed he wasn't gonna do this and do that when they dropped them subpoenas, which they went all the way to that extreme to subpoena all these folks in the Trump administration. And it's like, okay, well, where is the subpoena in for Fauci, the lines for lying before Congress? And why ain't no subpoenas being written up and all this stuff to deal with that? And it's fucking obvious. I mean, it's like, you can say, I mean, damn, I'm confused. It's like, why is this? And I don't even think people are even just looking at that shit that way, because of all the propaganda and shit that's been out here, man. These folks are willing to bring up contempt charges on Steve Bannon and everything dealing with the January 6th insurrection, where doors were open and stuff looked like it was played out like a skit or something. But you dealing with a person who's got their hands in the middle of stuff that a lot of people are not here. A lot of stuff is messed up. A lot of people out here fearful of this thing that's going on. But you don't get no elaboration or no explanation of why or why not or what's that. But you still see the how certain stuff is treated different, and it's like, how can you even respect that? How can you respect those that's trying to implement one way of looking at things on one side of the fence, while slowly looking the other way on the other side of the fence. And it seems like this stuff is more important than any of that shit. January 6th, any of that. Everything dependent that's are centered around this mystery that's going on, that has been going on for all these years, which leads to people stepping up, telling you how to live and what you should do and this and that. I mean, all of this is linked in. I still can't get it. It's like, for the love of me, I'm gonna continue to say something about it. I don't care what people got to say or how I'm viewed, because I don't give a damn. This shit took people out of here, man. It's like this should be took a lot of black folks out of here for one, and I have to represent the truth on this. It took a lot of black folks out of here. A lot of black folks ran and listened to what these folks got to say, but you don't see none of them stepping up saying, "Well, why this fool able to do this and do that and do that and do that?" And nobody says nothing. We still talking about January 6th and trying to bring people in from Trump's administration to face charges, when this guy here, Rand Paul, was right. No matter how much a person may like him or love him, he told the truth on Fauci. But the thing is, why? Why is he not being called out by individuals? It remains a mystery, and that mystery will eventually play its course out to a point where what's in the dark will be exposed. Um, but yeah, I had to vent on that, because it's like I get so sick of them. When you cut on mainstream media, you cut on any of these damn news sites, that's the first thing you hear: subpoenas, January 6th. And it's like all these news stations, they repeat the same fucking script. And it's like, you have to look at certain things like, why is everything so scripted around in our world? Why is everything according to a script, and you gotta be damn near on point on that script, or any deviation here or there could lead to censorship, could lead to all the, being maligned, or being called out as being fake or misinformation, when just because you didn't go by a script. That should be red flags everywhere. It's like every time when you cut the news on, you see the news, different channels or media outlets. When you see that, it's like they all reading off the same damn script. The only difference is when you have difference in politics. You have one media outlet that's leaning more toward the left, or one leans toward the right. Then you get the same. Like, you'll see the same stuff on Fox. You see the same script on One America News. You see the same script on uh, what's that? Newsmax. And then you'll see the opposite, the same scripts on CNN, MSNBC, so forth and so forth. And now we ain't even gonna talk about the local news. Every city across this country, when you look at the local news, all their stories, man. You look at, I'm in Detroit, so if I look at, say, Channel 7 News, and I'm looking at two distinct anchors, and they're speaking on the same story that two different anchors in Cleveland, Ohio, saying word for word the exact same stuff, man. Why is everything so scripted, man? That should be a question everybody should ask. I mean, maybe if people looked at stuff like that in a different way, then we wouldn't be in a situation where we in now globally. And it's like everything is is revealing itself for the corruption, the hypocrisy that it is. For real. So yeah, that's like the one of the major questions everybody should be asking right now. Okay, we know that Fauci lied about what was going on with gain of function. Gain of function. Gain of function. Everybody want to talk about gain of function. They want to try and clown others and act like in case you probably don't know what gain of function means. Like that makes you a professional just because you know what it means. Basically, gain of function only means weaponizing something, so that it brings about a different effect than it would naturally. That's basically what it is. That's how I get it from. I always go to the in a nutshell. Fuck all the these long drawn out ass scientific stuff and all that, because a lot of that stuff is just meant to confuse a motherfucker. But gain of function is basically weaponizing viruses, man. And the man lied about it. Not only did he lie about it, taxpayer money was used in funding this, and all this stuff was done in cooperation with China. You know, China, the same country, communist country that America always talking about. We trying to do this and trying to do that and stay a step ahead of China, but yet everything in your household, people could lie all they want to be in denial about it, but the majority of stuff in your damn household got made in China on it. So it's like obviously the relationship is more than a person can point out. I mean, you could say, oh, they got tariffs and they got these different regulations on imports and exports between that Trump, the trade war and all that. Yeah, that happened. But look, we've been doing this stuff. China has been doing stuff with the United States for years, man. And it's like, if you really don't like a government or how they treat their people or whatever, then why the fuck are you doing business with them? That's the biggest way you show that you don't support certain shit. But yeah, it makes me wonder about certain people. It's like certain people want to hear what they want to hear, and you're not hearing that. Everything you're hearing is on something totally less urgent than what we talking about now. When you talk about a pandemic, you talking about something that's been afflicting this country for over a year, almost 2 years now. People gone. I can't really put the finger on how many people have passed away because of this stuff, but I know people have, because I experienced it. So something that urgent, and the key player that's wrapped up in this, and you hear all this negative stuff in this, it's amazing how nobody's calling it out. Same person that's feeding this government and the medical places all this guidance about what they should be doing, what the CDC puts out. All this stuff comes from this. So it's like, how do you do that? How do you have this? I don't get it for the world. But you would subpoena people from Trump's administration. However you look at it, yeah, some of that shit they was doing was fucked up, but goddamn, we're talking about a pandemic that took a lot of people out of here, according to the stats. I mean, according to the mainstream media, it's over 700,000. So that right there, I mean, damn, that should be enough to be, anytime something come up on this subject, that should be addressed. Obviously not. And it just goes to show that A lot of stuff just ain't what it seems, man. Hopefully this stuff will get down to the nitty gritty of what's really going on, so we can get some act right out of these fake politicians and people that want your vote, but they can't answer particular questions geared toward why is certain stuff happening. Like I said, I ain't got any. I emailed 4 Michigan Congress people. I only got a response from one, and it was basically on some of the same spin that they put on everything. The science says this. The science could tell you whatever it want to tell you, but when the people who behind that particular science are fucking lying and have an agenda, then you can scream science all day long. People in their right mind see what the fuck going on. Those who want to see it and really calling out for what it is. I'm one of them, and anybody else that's on this level, man, it's much love, man, much respect, man. And I lend my voice to your voice, and hopefully my voice can be lended to each and every person's voice. All of us speaking on something that is very serious, and it just blatantly showing the hypocrisy and the confusion that this government continue to put out, especially on something as urgent as this, man. It's like, wow. The last couple of days, there have been an uptick, according to the media, of this and that. But like I said, here in Michigan, we're hearing that in the city of Detroit. I'm still trying to figure out where this stuff happening. They're saying the case is going back up. They're saying this, they're saying that. But it's like what they're saying and boots on the ground that's actually in the area and everything. It ain't nothing like it was last year. Nothing. It ain't nothing like it was last March, April, May, June. It ain't nothing like it was last year. So when they keep coming up with this, I know it's not taking away that this stuff, this crap they got out here is taking people out. But these folks like to manipulate numbers. They like to exacerbate issues, because if you're trying to get a certain thing done, then you need to have all hands on deck. That means everybody got to be thinking the same. So if you can control the narrative, then hopefully you can get people to all coincide and you accomplish what you need to accomplish. The problem is now you got too many people who seeing through this shit, and they refuse to stand on any words that's coming from people who are actually showing themselves to be liars and hypocrites. This is the real deal. And the thing now is, where do you go from here, man? I know people who vaccinated, people who not vaccinated. Much love for all. I hate the argument that's been placed in front of everybody. Me personally, I've never seen in my lifetime an event in the history of human beings in this country where you needed 4 or 5 shots to get over one particular thing. I mean, I done had measles, I done had the flu when I was younger, and I had chicken pox and all this stuff. The earlier vaccines, I think I only had them when I was in school, when I was early school age. But I haven't had that stuff. I mean, to each his own. I mean, I haven't had any of that. Once it got to a point where I was in control of my own choices as far as that, I never took none of that shit. I never, and haven't had none of that shit since. The flu, so it's real mind-boggling, man. It's almost like you are actually living in a real life Twilight Zone episode. Like, what do a motherfucker really believe? Who do a motherfucker really trust? And it's like in this situation right here, everybody need to put their trust in their faith, or their faith is in God. So they need to be really trying to, would God want me to do this? Would God want me to follow liars and would want me to do stuff to myself or to my loved ones that is straight up being pushed by liars and hypocrites and all this other stuff? Because it not only does it not make any sense, um, the, it's right in your face. It's like ain't nothing being uh, hidden far as on that, because it's been out here. Motherfuckers from the NIH and all this shit and already said, and a lot of doctors, a lot of people who that was coming out last year and even before this stuff got over here and a lot of the doctors that were all of a sudden silenced and told to sit down and had their homes raided and this and that. It's like, why? Why did anybody who had a different take on what was going on and how to go about this, why would they immediately shut down and shuffled away, and their character was assassinated so that people wouldn't look at them as being credible? Why is that? I mean, it's fucking obvious. It's like it's obvious as hell. It's like you can't say that ain't happened, because it has. It's like the media groups that do try and which is underground, grassroots media or independent media that do this. Of course, people try and shun them and talk all this stuff, but they're putting out some real facts. Just like my man from uh what's his name, James O'Keefe, Project Veritas. I mean, people who actually doing the dirty work are trying to find out what the hell going on, and certain powers don't want that. So they got people running up in folks' houses, doing this and doing that. Why? Maybe to spread fear. Maybe because you talking too much. We don't want everybody to. So, but it's obvious. The evidence is obvious that damn, it's other shit at play. And it should be a point where motherfuckers just tired of this shit. Like, come on, man. Y'all motherfuckers need to come on with the bullshit and start telling everybody what the fuck going on. I see it how everybody is not saying fuck work and the hell with that shit. To me, that's taking a step in a direction that needs to go in order for these motherfuckers to realize human beings, especially all over the planet, are not playing no more with governments, with leaders, with all this stuff. Don't matter if you're in the religious field, don't matter if you in whatever. A lot of people ain't taking it no more. They tired of it. I'm looking at a lot of the articles that's talking about how religion and you know memberships for different religious groups are dwindling down, because people, even in that, are wondering what the hell is going on, because some stuff that a person may not have been educated on or really had insight on 10 years ago or 20 years ago, they have that. They come into a point where they have an epiphany, they have insight, they have a curious instinct to want to find out a little bit more or question certain things that don't make any sense. Like, I've been doing a lot of reading, and this is one of the apocryphal, and this is dealing with the 12 Christian apocryphal books that were lost and rejected scriptures. And I've always been wanting to read. I've read a couple of them. I have the book of Enoch as well. But this is my thing. And I'm not just trying to call out Christianity on it. And, a lot of religions have some inconsistency there where it's like, where did they come up with this? Or where did this authority come? Or why this says that? While over here it says another thing, this and that, so forth, so forth. But when it comes to that touchy subject, oh, you just gotta have faith. But when you're having faith in something that's questionable, what is that going to do to your overall spiritual growth? So, yeah, the Apocrypha, the Dead Sea Scrolls. Why would you even have stuff that's and that's my take. I mean, for something to be of truth of any value for a person, then you will want to have 100% truth. You will want it to all be together, not separated. So why is it that you have stuff that's according to scripture or the gospels or whatever, according to the Bible, and why do you have stuff that's not in the Bible and not even acknowledged according to that religion when it was written as a part of it? Why does and then this goes into who gave that decree that these books should not be looked into? Who gave the decree that the book of Enoch, the Jubilees and everything, the Maccabees, no? Who said no? We're not going to put that in there. Who said we're not going to do that? Who said that? Who was that final authority? Of course, the Vatican and the Pope and all that stuff. But who gave them authority to do all this? Who gave them authority to do? And 9 times out of 10, the Vatican Library, I spoke on that before, got all the information of all religions, all sciences, and everything from thousands of years ago, because the underground, under the Vatican, is a huge expansion of space for archives. Why? Nobody answers that. Nobody seems to wonder why has this stuff been existing like this? And to be honest, I mean, if you're a Christian or if you're a Muslim or whatever, wouldn't you want to know everything about your religion, including those things that were kept away or told for some reason that you can't? No, it doesn't make a difference. It ain't with that. It's all about the New Testament. It's all about the Old Testament. It's all about this book. It's all about that book. In Islam, the Sunnis say it's all about this interpretation by Abu Bakr, and then you have other characters in the play. Then you have Sufism. Then you have Shiites that go by a different. So who gives the final authority on all this stuff? Why is there so much stuff that's split up? I mean, if I want to know what's gonna be productive and elevate my spirituality, I at least want to have all the truth. I don't want to know a little something and then come back 10 years, 20 years, 50 years, 100 years, 1,000 years later and find out that, oh, it was some other books, but they didn't make the cut. Who said it? So, in reading some of this stuff, it's really questionable. I encourage anybody to get the book of Enoch and to try and look into the Dead Sea Scrolls. I even got this book from the Emerald Tablets by Billy Carson, and I mean, this stuff here, man, and the guy who you see on here, this is. If you pay attention, he looked like something that you had seen before in some Egyptian drawings. Who is Thoth, T-H-O-T, Thoth, T-H-O-T-H, and they had a script that's attributed to Thoth called the Emerald Tablets, and this is a book that breaks down some of the interpretation and interpreted into English and whatnot of Thoth's view on the world, who was considered a deity in Egypt. But looking into it, man, it's a lot of information that is that piggybacks off of other stuff. It's like Thoth brings up in these emerald tablets stuff that went down, let's say in other tablets or other scripts that previously predated this stuff. And it's like, how does that happen? Why is nobody saying it? Why is nobody trying to get the common thread but so-called conspiracy um wow. It's just amazing how stuff seems to just play itself out. Hold on 1 minute. Let's see. I don't want to act right. Hold on 1 minute. All right, back again. Sorry about that, but yeah, I mean, I'm trying to gain all the knowledge I can, all information that I could sift through and try and get a better understanding of things. A lot of this information and stuff I have been already sifting through throughout the years, but it seems like it's kind of leading a person through these times that we're in, because it's kind of leading to a lot of this things that really remain questionable. And then you see everything happening. It's like, well, maybe a person need to try and, well, that's how I look at it. Maybe a person need to try and change the way they think for a change, because everything that we obviously that a person um, entertains thought wise, a lot of it was indoctrination, and the whole thing is, you know, needs to be a time in which a lot of this stuff really need to come to the table, that everybody gets some concrete answers. But I'm gonna continue to build up my little information and do what I can to help aid my voice, because as I said, man, I do not consent to none of this stuff. Me personally, deep down, I know that something that is going on and it doesn't fit and it doesn't register with my spirit. Um, and that's basically where I stand, with love and respect for everybody else. Whether you, hey, each person has their own. They have the right and the will to do whatever they want to do, and this is something that people gotta understand, man. Shoot, I'm not responsible for nobody else's salvation just as much as another person responsible for mine. Each person has their own conscious spiritual essence that needs to be fostered. And in this time, this is the best thing to do, man. Foster it, feed it, learn, try and look at things from another perspective. It seems like everything in this world is always meant to be perspectives that clash with one another, which create this great divide that's we leading to. But a lot of people see it for what it is, and I'm gonna continue to stay on that side of the because when everybody is going uh, right and some party go left, I'm going straight ahead. I just can't do it, and a lot of people see this, and they realize that, man, when you think about it, not only an individual, but their families, their children, their grandchildren, everything is at stake on down the line of what's going on this planet right now. So, I mean, it's serious. It's serious time. And with that, I am watching the Lions game. They haven't got won a game yet. Hopefully they get this one. I mean, if they do, they do. If they don't, they don't. But I would like to see them at least get one in before the season over with. But yeah, everybody that is in the earshot of this, just have an open mind and look at the games that's being played, because this stuff that's going on with Fauci and the ineffectiveness of Congress to even touch this issue of what is out here. I mean, it ain't like it's they doing it behind closed doors. This is actually in front of everybody's face. So it ain't like motherfucker can't say, "Oh, I didn't see it or I didn't know nothing about it." Oh hell no, this shit's out here. Uh, you know, let's just stay up, stay peaceful out here, stay looking toward uh, upgrading and gaining more information, especially information that these folks ain't been trying to share. It's a reason why they ain't trying to share information. So with that, I greet you as I came. Hope everyone continue to have a blessed, prosperous day, week, with safety and security upon every person. And see you again on the next go around. Peace.